Practical Exclusive Divinity. Wow. The foremost principal objective, PO, of this communication is to share facts and truisms. Prithia Rabbi L.M. Dumizulu, the original and indigenous on the earth. Thank you for stopping by. Modern challenges, ancient solutions. Welcome. Philosophy. How did the world come to be? What hand fashioned us and put us here? What does it mean to be alive? Mankind or humankind has asked these questions for untold centuries. Did the Africans prior to the invasion by Muslims and Christians ever engage their thinking gears tackling such questions at ontological, cosmological, teleological, and on ethical moral level? The answers affect you too. What philosophy have you studied so far? But being practical yet exclusive, our ancestors appear to have engaged in practical natural philosophy. However, within that natural philosophy was the revelation of a practical exclusive divinity that balanced up everything. What is your philosophy? Do you know this truth? This current civilization we live in began around 660 BCE, and it belongs to the European race. Therefore, they use their philosophy, and we use their philosophy. Unless we unlock and unhinge ourselves from their philosophy, we are a slave to their philosophy. Whatever we do, whether atheism, evolution, or anything that you believe in, you are likely to be logging in to European philosophy. What we know is that in the 17th century, German philosopher Jacob Lohard, who lived from 1561 to 1609, officially coined the term ontology. He used this word in his 8-volume work, Ogdoa Scholastica, in which there was discussion between religion and scientific inquiry. It is thought and taught that it ushered in the age of enlightenment, or the age of reason. Philosophers battled and fought to reconcile the existence of the biblical God with rational thought or reasoning. It is called the age of enlightenment, but it is a disaster. Just look at the world or events that are occurring on the world today. Early scientific thinkers like Francis Bacon and René Descartes divorced the study of observable nature from the study of human beings. That is their philosophy. And ever since, our relationship to the natural world has been fraught and filled with error and produced disaster. This is the image from The Guardian, a cartoon that demonstrates the results and the fruits of European enlightenment or age of reason. On the other hand, for millions of years, the African rarely thought or imagined that nature can be assumed to be an enemy which is meant to be destroyed, whether by subtlety or directly. The African lived a life that balanced practical needs, wants, and wishes with nature. If your dominant life ideology is not natural and is not yours, racially, you are living a lie. You have been deceived. You are a failure. You must critically examine that which you have been taught verbally from birth, via the educational system, the media, and even your experience. How does it answer the following? Are there answers correlating with your true history, your Bantu Ubuntu origins, or Euro-Asiatic mentality? Has the God fiction destroyed your practical exclusive divinity? Can you answer those questions? Let us look at the dominant Euro philosophy, how it has dominated human thinking. We shall consider ontological questions and many other questions. We shall provide some answers, but we shall go through everything practical possible in this presentation. Is there a supreme being? And if so, what is it like? Europe has given people the option of saying no, none. God, Jesus, Allah, or self. It goes on for you to really find shocking facts concerning Jesus, Allah, God, and atheism. Read our book, The Creator or a God. Find more shocking facts. You can get this book from Amazon. Next question is, what is the origin and nature of man? Dominant Euro philosophy calls upon evolution and deny creation, which according to the author Chukwunyere Kamalu defines and gives us the multiple self. You can get also his book from Amazon, and you find a lot of detail. We shall deal and explain some more. What is reality and what is ultimate reality? What is truth? All these facts are found in all these books, the two books that we're sharing here. And let's look at cosmological questions. At cosmology, what is the origin and nature of the universe? What is God's relationship with the universe? What is the meaning of time? Do laws and causality govern the universe absolutely? The issue of ethics or morality. Who or what determines which is right and which is wrong? And how do we know what is right? That's a moral issue which we are going to deal with shortly. Then there is teleological questions. What is teleology? Teleology comes from the Greek word telos, meaning end or goal or purpose. Teleological theories focus on the possible outcomes of an action, issues that have to do with consequences of technology and advancement of labor, capital, as well as use of natural resources. So the teleological question has to do with, why do men and the universe exist, and do they have a final end? Of course, European philosophy falls on evolution. Does evil have a purpose? European philosophy has no answer. It's completely baffled. That's why it is a perennial debate and perennial question. Our ancestors said yes, evil has a purpose. Deontological issues. The deontological issue or question is an issue where a person will do evil for good. For instance, the person who kills the evil villain to save an entire village is considered unethical because an act of murder is wrong and therefore he must be punished. That's the other aspect of European philosophy. The age of enlightenment, the age of reason. This age of enlightenment is a disaster. Just look at the world, or rather earth, for your proof. The destruction of nature, pollution, destruction of family values, sexuality, destruction of spirituality, the destruction of understanding of death. So we want to look at the practical exclusive divinity, how it is brought about and how you can implement it in your life. Because that's very critical, and that's one of the cogs and drivers of life. If you do not have practical exclusive divinity or an understanding of it, it means that you are a victim and you are living a life of control or being controlled by external forces or internal forces. Practical exclusive divinity begins with one true philosophical knowledge. This is hidden in myths, legends, stories, and proverbs. These are the building blocks of black philosophy about life, which educates and entertains the multiple you. That's the missing component in European philosophy, the multiple you. Not 3, not 2, but almost 9 yous in you. Myths reveal and hide the divine. They open us up to knowing and living in the origins of the universe using nature. They address and answer questions like, where did humankind come from? From the book by Kamalu Chukwunyere, we know that this is the African conception of human community as extending beyond the living. The cycle of human existence reconnected through ritual actions, contact with the divinity, with the cosmos at large. From the living through death, you might be lucky and become an ancestor or a god. When we say ancestors, these are gods. And then from there, you become the unborn, and then you are born again, and on and on. This is a cycle. How are human beings expected to act as they travel through life? What is the destiny of the human race? We have already indicated that it has become divine, it is to become God, it is to become an ancestor. It's the next step. There is no other next step. You have to become a good ancestor. Number 2, of how to engage in practical exclusive divinity involves activating your totems. A totem represents a spirit that offers protection to an individual, to family, or a community. Totems can represent animals, plants, or natural phenomena, such as lightning, flowing water, as well as their strength and power that flows into those and are protected by it. Number 3, methods in practical exclusive divinity. Rebuilding our spiritual senses. We can do that by following African monotheism. That gives birth to the philosophy we call Afro salvation. And under Afro salvation, we know that this is the driver force of practical exclusive divinity, in which you must sincerely believe in the following 3 religious or mental states. You must be a monotheist, knowledge and belief in one nameless creator. You must also be a polytheist, belief in many gods, your ancestors, and many other powers that are all over the earth, that are all over the universe, that practically work in specialized areas: healing, war, defense, money, wealth, marriage, relationships. All these are entities that already exist, and they are ready to be employed and used by you, but you must know how to engage them. That is Afro salvation. Pantheistic, living with reality that a spark of divinity is inside you, and we call it the ninefold soul inside you. So these 3 are the practical fundamentals of Afro salvation. Those that say they are monotheists and think they discuss polytheism and pantheism, they are lying. Christians believe that the Holy Spirit is inside them. That's pantheistic. That's being polytheistic. Also, if you believe in the devil and fear the devil and know that the devil lives, or demons, that's being polytheistic. Otherwise, you would never believe in that. It's impossible. There are no true monotheists on earth. Forget about Islam. They have got the Kaaba, the stone they worship. Eat consciously. Eat and drink in compatibility with your race, your blood, or, as they say, genetics. Dr. Sebi inspires us to learn that hybrid foods are not good. You must adopt a herbal nutrition with all these colored foods that you must eat. Number 5, knowing the spirits and how to engage the multiple self. In African philosophy, there is acknowledgement of both good and evil, or bad entities or spirits. So, unfortunately, we have forgotten that our own free will thwart the bad spirits as well as the good, and you live a life of denial. And it's possible. Therefore, you are asleep while you think you are awake. Unfortunately, religious colonialism has programmed millions to view their own indigenous faith systems as epitomes of evil. Therefore, their wills for shocking belief and practical manipulation has been subsumed by other forces. The creed of Islam that it says there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his prophet. So when Muslims arrived in Africa in the 7th century, they did not identify African religion as a religion. They called the native people Kafirs, which means infidels, people who have no faith or unbelievers. The name stuck and Africans came to be known as people with no faith. How on earth could anyone with enough senses not realize that their spirituality is being destroyed by becoming a Muslim and following Islam? I leave the answer to yourself. How did the world come to be? It was created by the nameless creator. What hand fashioned us and put us here? Our parents, mother and father, as well as our ancestors. What does it mean to be alive? To be alive means to apply Afro salvation principles. All these will allow you to engage practical exclusive divinity in this life, beginning today. And thus it will add on and enhance your religious dimensions, your experiential dimensions, your mythical dimensions, doctrinal knowledge, ethical practice, as well as ritual dimension. These are the pillars of building up and enhancing your practical exclusive divinity. Without them, nothing works. So if you want to be engaged and to continue with some of the lessons, like send us an email on Join@Marifado. You can visit our website, as well as you can subscribe to our channel, Committee Buru Ethics Marifa Development Organization. Till we meet again, this spiritual Rabbi LM to Zulu. I say thank you. Tatenda Siabonga. Have a great philosophy. Wow.